Hello everyone, welcome back on our YouTube channel Vance Vlog. And maybe you have already seen our first two videos that we have started a video series for the preparation of Einbürgerung test or Lebens in Deutschland test in Germany. So we have already completed our video series in Urdu or Hindi. So those of you who are already familiar with these two languages, they are from Pakistan or India, or if they can understand Urdu or Hindi, then actually it will be better if they can watch those videos which are already completed. For the English part, we have already finished one video which was question number 1 to 30. Now it is video number 2 for part 1. We have divided our whole test or the all the videos in basically 4 parts. If you haven't seen our introductory video, then I will recommend you to first watch the introductory video, then come back to the first and second video. So in the first video we have covered all the questions before the Second World War and how actually Germany was captured by four allied forces: France, Gross Britannia or United Kingdom, you can say, America and Soviet Union. And then Germany was actually divided through a wall which is known as Berliner Wall or Berliner Mauer in two main countries. One was DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik. It was directly under the supervision of Soviet Union. You can say there was a dictatorship in Soviet Union at that time, or communism effect as well. So DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, was under the direct control of Soviet Union, and five German states which are currently a part of Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, Germany, they were in DDR. We will cover all these questions in upcoming videos. The West and the other country, the second country was West Germany, which is known as Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. There was a wall in between these two countries. One was Deutsche Demokratische Republik, which is basically the eastern part of Germany these days, and the second country was West Germany, which was Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, or you can say it was the actual Germany. Then there was a law and legislative assemblies formed in Bundesrepublik of Deutschland because it was an independent part. But DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, was directly under the influence of Soviet Union. So there was no such industrial revolution or no progress. We will see all these topics in upcoming questions. So let's start today with the question number 31. So the first question is, welches war das Wappen der Deutsche Demokratische Republik? Like you know, Wappen means emblem or symbol, or sometimes we say is crest. So which one of them is a weapon or symbol of Deutsche Demokratische Republik, DDR? DDR we know, we also call it as East Germany, Ostdeutschland. It was directly under the influence of Deutsche Demokratische Republik, was directly under the influence of Soviet Union. So they are asking which one of them was a weapon or was a symbol of Deutsche Demokratische Republik. This Adler is a symbol of Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, BRD, or currently Germany, Deutschland. So just remember, like wherever we have the compass, this compass, this hammer, and this circle, which is part number 4 actually, it is a symbol of, it was a symbol of Deutsche Demokratische Republik. Part 4, it is of Germany. Adler, eagle, is currently a symbol of Germany as well. These two never belonged to any of DDR or BRD. This symbol was actually was a weapon or symbol of Deutsche Demokratische Republik, which is part 4. We will explain it in more detail in the next question. If you see, welches deutsche Stadt hat eine schwarz-rot-goldene Flagge mit Hammer, Circle und Ehrenkranz? Colors are not visible over here because it is a black and white picture, but actually like Schwarz, Rot and Gold, which is still a flag of Germany. So they are asking us which German country had this flag with color of black, red and gold. Flag is flag. Mit hammer is hammer. Like if you see directly this picture, this back part is a hammer. And then circle, circle means compass. This compass, and this is Aaron Krans. Aaron's come from your ears, and Krans is known as a rim or circle. So this question we've already seen that this logo or this complete flag uh, was a symbol of Deutsche Demokratische Republik. It was not a symbol of Preußen. Preußen is something related to religious or old kingdom. Bundesrepublik of Deutschland has a symbol or a flag of Adler, eagle. And Dritte Reich was that era when Germany was under dictatorship since 1933 till the end of Second World War. They also not had the symbol DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, actually had this symbol or flag, Schwarz-Rot gold flag with hammer, which is a hammer you can see, circle which is compass, and Ehrenkranz. So DDR is the correct answer. Now our next question is, in the DDR lebten vor allem Migranten aus. They are asking, in Deutsche Demokratische Republik DDR, which was the part of Soviet Union, we have already discussed this. East Germany you can also say, Ostdeutschland. Basically they are asking us that all the migrants, migrants mainly they were living in DDR were from Vietnam, Poland, Mozambique. So if you see this Poland, and DDR was on the eastern side, like was actually a neighbor of DDR, was in the eastern side Ostdeutschland, and it was a neighbor of Poland. So you can just make for your easiness, you can mark this Poland word, like wherever DDR, Poland will definitely come with DDR. So this answer is correct. They were not from Frankreich, Romania or Somalia as an African country, not from Chile, Hungary or Zimbabwe, neither from North Korea, Mexico or Egyptian. Just remember this Poland. Poland is also a part of East Europe, and DDR was also on the eastern side. So the correct answer will be Vietnam, Poland and Mozambique. In DDR we had migrants mainly from these countries. The next question is, was war die Stasi? Okay, so Stasi was actually a spy service or known as Geheimdienst uh, during the time of DDR or Soviet Union time. So they are giving us the option, the Stasi and their Geheimdienst and Dritte Reich. Geheimdienst, Geheim is called secret and Dienst is service. So like you can say it's a spy service. It's agency. It was not in the Dritten Reich. Dritten Reich was the time from 1933 till the end of Second World War. So Stasi was not a part of that. Eine berühmte deutsche Gedenkstätte, or the second option is, this Stasi is a berühmte is famous. Deutsche Gedenkstätte, Memorial Stätte is called building, site or place. So they are asking, Stasi is a famous berühmte deutsche Gedenkstätte, famous German memorial place or memorial building. No, it's also not the correct answer. The Geheimdienst der DDR. It was a secret agency during the time of DDR, when DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, was there, and it was directly under the influence of Soviet Union. So there was a time when we had this Stasi, which was a Geheimdienst. Geheim means secret, Dienst means service, so secret services. It was not eine deutsche Sportverein während des Zweiten Weltkrieg. It was not a Sportverein mean club, and they are asking that it was a sport club during the time of while this Zweiten Weltkrieg during the Second World War. It is also not the correct answer. So if you see, only the third option is correct. So now let's jump to the next question, which is, wie heißt das Wirtschaftssystem der DDR? Wirtschaft is the meaning is economy. They are asking us, what was the economic system in DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik? Was that okay? So there are different economic system are mentioned over here. I will quickly give you a glimpse only, or an intro of that. You can Google on those topics if you want. So the first option is, was it in DDR a Marktwirtschaft? Marktwirtschaft is like this. It's a market-based economy. You have the ongoing market prices and how the demand is working, how you need to increase your production. and Marktwirtschaft. And then if the government is also controlling this economy, like Marktwirtschaft is totally based on the market, how the owners or the business holders are changing their policies as per the market situation. That is Marktwirtschaft. The other one is Planwirtschaft. Planwirtschaft, as the name suggests, it is planned directly from the government, centralized economy you can say. But down the flow, for example, in cities, or when we have some shops or middle businessman, then in Planwirtschaft there is no such demand and supply system or the controlling over a small businesses. If there is a demand, there is a supply, uh, there is a rapid rise in the prices, government will not take care of that as well. So that is called Planwirtschaft. Policies are decided by the government, but government never takes care what is going down the flow, what is going with the middleman, or with the lower business persons, the persons which have small businesses, which have the big businesses, how they are changing the prices for the common people. So that is Planwirtschaft. Centralized economy, only the government has suggested some prices, but what happens in the market, government never hears of that. So this answer is correct. In DDR we had Planwirtschaft. Marktwirtschaft is like this, the government also involved somehow, and then the business persons or the businessmen are taking decisions, they are increasing their production, they are investing more money. But in Planwirtschaft, policies are decided, but you cannot change that policy. But those who are the business person, they can rise the prices, they can decrease the prices, it's all up to them. So it was a system in DDR. Angebot und Nachfragen is Angebot is asking demand, or supply, and Nachfrage is demand. So Angebot and Nachfrage is demand and supply system. It was also not the part of DDR. Even capitalism was also not a part of DDR. The economic system in DDR was more about Planwirtschaft. Those who want to know more about the economic system, or those who are from the field of economy, they already know more, and those who are not from the field of economy, they can learn more. If they want, they can Google. But you can simply remember this, like in DDR we had Planwirtschaft. Or simply, if you want to remember this, then if you see here is we have day and here is P, you put your display picture on social media forums, so D and P, so DDR is Planwirtschaft. You can just, if you are not an economist, then you can learn in this way as well. It is only for your reasoness, but otherwise just Google those terms, how the Marktwirtschaft work, how the Planwirtschaft work, how the demand and supply part works, how the capitalismus, which is a system, how it works. So you will come to know. The correct answer is anyhow here is Planwirtschaft. Now our next question is, welche Parteien wurden 1946 zwangsweise zur SED vereint? The Einheitspartei der späteren DDR. They are asking that in 1946, zwangsweise means forcefully. Zwang is compulsion or pressure. Like forcefully, two parties were forced to form a new party, SED. Vereinen is known as to unite, or Vereinigung, to unite. Vereinen is a word we use for the term unite. So two parties were forced to create a new party, unite. They were united to form a new party, SED. The Einheitspartei means United Party. Then that was a United Party in DDR. So which were those two parties? There was a party in DDR which was directly under the influence of Soviet Union, Deutsche Demokratische Republik. There was a party with the name of KPD. So KPD is communist. The system was there, was communism in Soviet Union. So there was a party which had a full form of KPD, Kommunistische Partei Deutschland. And then there was an old party which also exists these days and also a part of government many times, which is Sozialdemokratische Partei Deutschland. We will also cover the questions about the parties in part number 2, political parties. So SPD, Sozialistische Demokratische Partei Deutschland. Actually these two were forced to form a new party, which was, the name was SED. Sozialiste, S for Socialiste, A is for Einheitspartei here E, Einheitspartei und D for Deutschland. So KPD und SPD, or KPD and SPD were forced to combine together to unite and form a new party, which was named as SAD, Sozialiste Einheitspartei Deutschland. So these were actually were forced to combine. And note SPD and CDU, actually KPD should be there. KPD is Communist Party or Communist Party. So anyhow, KPD was also a part of there. DDR, and KPD was influenced by DDR. So KPD should be there. These two are never in that case. KPD and CSU. CSU is also a party. This party will also cover in upcoming questions as well when uh, we will be covering the part number 2, which is about German political system. So at CSU is a party which is a Christliche Soziale Union or Christliche Demokratische Union. It is a party in government these days as well in Germany. So only there is a competition between these two parts, KPD and SPD or KPD and CSU. So just you can remember KPD should be there in any case. The other party can be either SPD or CSU. So if you see here in SED, which was a united party of two parties, so S is there, and in SPD we also have S. So just click this option, KPD and SPD. These parties were forced to form a new party, SED, Sozialiste Einheitspartei Deutschland. So that is the correct answer. Now let's move to the next question. So in welchem Militärbündnis war die DDR Mitglied? At that time when there was a wall, or you can say there were two major blocks in Europe. One was I will explain you this. One was related to the East Europe and the other was related to the West Europe. So those countries who were a part of East Europe, like Romania was a part of Romania, Hungary, East Germany, Poland. This all countries combined together and they form a military alliance with the support of Russia. And there was a pact which was signed in Poland, in the capital of Poland, which is Warsaw, and this was known as Warsaw Pact. And in the response of that Warsaw Pact, those countries which were on the western side of the Europe, they formed their own alliance, which was North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and with the support of USA for sure. So at that time, after the Second World War, the time from 19, you can say 47 or 48 till late 1990s, there was a time known as Cold War. There were different military blocs, different allied groups in the world. SATO and CENTO was there, Warsaw Pact and NATO was there. So, like those countries which were on the eastern side of the Europe, and DDR for sure was on the eastern side, directly under the influence of Soviet Union, they were a part of Warsaw Pact. NATO was not formed at that time. Actually, BRD, which was West Germany or Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, then became a part of NATO. It was on the western side, and Deutsche Demokratische Republik, Eastern Germany, which was on the eastern side, became a part of this Warsaw Pact. Actually, it was a kind of Militärbündnis. Militärbündnis mean it is a military alliance or military agreement which was signed from the eastern countries, and then there was an imaginary line between East Europe and West Europe. This question we will cover in the upcoming questions as well. So the main thing was at that time different military alliances were formed. So those on the Eastern Europe they formed Warsaw Pact, and those who were on western side they formed their own military Bundes, which was known as NATO. So DDR was on the eastern side, so it was a Warsaw Pact. Warsaw, you can also remember, like Warsaw is the capital of Poland. So you can learn this pact was signed in the capital of Poland, Warsaw. So it is known as Warsaw Pact. Note NATO, note the Rhinebund. Rhine is a river, very famous river in Europe. So it was also known as Rhinebund or Europa Bündnis, the combination or the alliance of Europe. No, it was very clear DDR was on the eastern side, so this agreement was signed in Poland. So Warsaw Pact is the correct answer. Now we will move to the next question, which is so wem gehörte die DDR im Kalten Krieg? As I told you, there were two different blocks in Europe. Eastern Europe, Warsaw Pact, and Western Europe, a part of NATO. So there was a Cold War between two superpowers at that time. One was Soviet Union or Russia, and the second was USA. So a Cold War was going on. Kalten Krieg is Cold War. So they are asking, so wem gehörte, to which bloc Deutsche Demokratische Republik in Cold War was a part of. So then Mächten known as powers. So they were the part of West power or the West countries. No, as we've already seen, they were a part of Warsaw Pact, not NATO or not so Blockvergehen starten. At that time, we have some countries who were neither the part of NATO nor Warsaw Pact. They were free, so they were known as Blockvergehen, block free states. But we already know DDR was a part of Warsaw Pact. So our next question is, wovor stand der Ausdruck Eiserner Vorhang? Okay, so now come the important questions. They are asking, Ausdruck is term used for expression. So they are asking, for what there is a expression or term known as Eiserner Vorhang. Eiserner is a word used for the iron, and Vorhang is used for the curtain. So actually there was an, as I told you, Warsaw Pact was related to the countries on the eastern side, and NATO was a pact for the western side. So there was an imaginary line, you can say not a border but an imaginary division or two different blocks at that time. So in between you can say there was a Eiserner Vorhang or iron curtain. And expression, so they are asking what was the expression, what is the expression known as iron curtain or Eiserner Vorhang is used for, why it is used for the Abschottung. And the Abschottung normally we use, they are asking like Eiserner Vorhang, as I told you, like it is a iron curtain, not a directly a physical line, but actually it was a division between Warsaw Pact and the NATO. So they are asking that actually it was a division. So so this term iron curtain, it stands for the Abschottung. Abschottung means partition or separation. Why, like what is exactly the term, why we use this Eiserner Vorhang? So they are asking, the first option is this Warsaw Pact gegen den Westen. It is the right answer. Actually there were two blocks, one was Eastern Europe, the rest was the Western Europe. Eastern Europe or DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, Poland, Russia, and different Eastern European countries were a part of Warsaw Pact, and Western countries including Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, West Germany or BRD, they became the part of NATO. So actually it was a Abschottung or a partition between Warsaw Pact gegen den Westen. It is the correct answer. No, not between North Deutschland, North Germany or South Germany. At that time there was only East and West Germany, two different countries. So it is not an option. I will not take this name. This Deutschland gegen the Allied. Allied means Allied forces, which is France, United Kingdom, USA, and Russia or Soviet Union. It was also not term used for that, even not for Europa's gegen the USA. In fact, USA or America was a part of NATO as well. So it was not a partition between European countries and USA. It was directly, you can say, Eiserner Vorhang. Iron curtain is a term used for the imaginary line or a partition between eastern and western countries. So first option is correct. Now our next question is, was ereignete sich am 17. Juni 1953 in DDR? So you have to, like there is a verb ereignen, which is used for to happen. What happened actually? What was at that date? What was the incident or event which happened? So just note down this verb ereignen, which is used for the term happened. So they are asking the past form. What happened on 17 June 1953 in Deutsche Demokratische Republik. What happened at that time? So actually, as I told you, and Deutsche Demokratische Republik, DDR was a part of Soviet Union, and Soviet Union was a dictatorship. They were not giving the complete rights to all the employees and laborers in DDR. While in the West Germany or BRD at that time, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland or West Germany, there was an industrial revolution in BRD. Law was set, chancellor was selected, and BRD, like they were signing some new agreements, some new deals with Europe. While on the side of DDR, there was no such progress. So what happened? They had no right. The employees or the labor union, uh, uh, they were protesting against the Soviet Union in DDR. So what happened on 17 June 1953? They are asking the Freiliche Beitritt zum Warschau-Pact. You can say Freiliche, that means is ceremonial, Beitritt mean joining. Like they joined the Warsaw Pact. No, this event was before that. Landesweite strike. Actually, there was a strike. So there was a protest in complete DDR, complete country, complete East Germany und ein Volksaufstand. Volk is the word used for the population or common people, and Aufstand is insurgents or riots. So there were strikes and riots in overall DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, for the basic rights of the common man, employees and laborers. They strike. They came out against the regime of DDR, which was Soviet Union. It is the correct answer. Note the SAD party attack. As I told you, KPD and SPD were forced to form a new party, SAD. So they are telling that there was a party day for SAD. It is not the correct answer. Or the ST Bezoek Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro, who was president of Cuba. So they are asking on 17 June 1953, there was a first visit of Fidel Castro, who was also a communist, like he came to Russia or DDR. It is not the correct answer. The only correct answer, in 1953 there were strikes and riots in whole DDR against the regime or policies of Soviet Union in DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik. So this answer is correct. So now let's move to the next question, which is im Jahr 1953 gab es in DDR einen Aufstand. They are asking in year 1953 there was an Aufstand. Aufstand we have already seen, riots or insurgents in DDR. An der lange Zeit in der Bundesrepublik Deutschland ein Feiertag erinnerte. There was a riot or insurgents in DDR, and it was remembered or was celebrated for a long time. Erinnern is to remember, is to we have already covered this verb as well. So it was remembered for a long time as a Feiertag, as a holiday in Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. One war thus, what was happened? We already, and when does it happen? We already know from the last question that it was 17 June 1953 when there was a strike in the whole DDR against the Soviet Union regime. So on 17 June, it was not 1st May, 20 July or 9th November, it was, we have already seen that it was 17th of June. Now the next question is, where baute the Mauer in Berlin? There was maybe if you have visited Berlin, you have seen that this monument as well. There was a Mauer, or Mauer is wall. So a wall was built in Berlin to divide these two countries, DDR and Deutsche Demokratische Republik or East Germany, and BRD, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland or West Germany. So who built that? DDR, Soviet Union. Not Großbritannien, not Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, even not the USA. It was on the side of DDR. And Berlin is on the east side, and east side DDR was directly under the supervision of Soviet Union. So DDR, actually DDR regime, or you can say Russia, actually they built this DDR. Mauer in Berlin was built by Deutsche Demokratische Republik. Our next question is, when what is DDR the Mauer in Berlin? So when actually DDR created or made this wall, build this wall in Berlin, which year was that? It couldn't be 1919. It was not before the Second World War, even not in 1933. In 1990, this wall was destroyed and Germany was united again. So this year is also not possible. The correct answer is 1961. In 1961, this wall was built, known as Berliner Mauer or Berliner Wall, by DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, or you can say Soviet Union. So our next question is again the similar one. In welchem Jahr wurde die Mauer in Berlin gebaut? The year was not 1953, not 1956, not 1959, but you have to remember this year. It was 1961 when the wall in Berlin was formed. So the next question is von 1961 from 1961 bis 1989 till 1989 war Berlin. The Berlin was ohne Bürgermeister. There was no city mayor. Actually, even at that time, you, there was no democratic system or no municipality committee system or like local system in Berlin. So Bürgermeister, they are asking that like that was ohne Bürgermeister. There was no Bürgermeister. This answer is not correct. And Eigner Stadt, it was a different state or a different country. Berlin, no. Durch eine Mauer geteilt. This answer is correct. From 1961 till 1989, Germany was Germany was divided into two parts, East and West. DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik or East Germany, and BRD, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland or West Germany. And even the Berlin itself, Berlin was divided into four parts. So durch eine Mauer geteilt. So Berlin was during that time was divided durch through eine Mauer, through a wall. Teilen is to divide. Was divided through a wall. Nur mit dem Flugzeug erreichbar. Their erreichbar is reachable. So they are asking that it was only reachable through aeroplane, Flugzeug. No, the correct answer is Berlin during that time was divided through a wall. Wie heißt der erste Bundeskanzler der Bundesrepublik of Deutschland? Okay, as I told you that DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, was under the Soviet Union, and but BRD, West Germany, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland was free. They had their own chancellor, their law was formed, then Bundestag was there, everything was there. So that was actually a democratic state, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland or West Germany. So now they elected their first chancellor as well, and you have to actually remember this name. The first chancellor of Bundesrepublik of Deutschland was Konrad Adenauer. He had a very good role as well. Uh, when we go to the next question, for the progress of Europe to create European Union and some other things we will see, to form this Grundgesetz, the basic law of Germany, the constitution of Germany, he also had a role. So the first Bundeskanzler was Konrad Adenauer. You have to remember this anyhow. You can also there is some other names, Kurt George, Kinsgard, Helmut Schmidt, Willy Brandt. Some of the names will come in the next questions, but anyhow this name is really important and it comes in the exam as well. So Konrad Adenauer actually was a part of was a chancellor of Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, and at that time West Germany or BRD had had an industrial revolution. Industry was progressing and everything was on the run, and they were in high demand. And then people from even from DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik or East Germany, were coming to West Germany as well to get the jobs and everything. So the next question is, one word in the Bundesrepublik of Deutschland is Wirtschaftswunder. So Wirtschaft is economic, Wunder is wonder. So there was some miracle happened, or some amazing stuff in the economy in Germany. As I told you, after the Second World War, in 1950s, West Germany was progressing. Bundesrepublik of Deutschland had an industrial revolution. So that was the time. 50 Jahre. They are asking, was it a 50 Jahre? That means 1940s. Was it 1950s? Was 1970s or was 1980s? Actually, it was 50 Jahre. In 1950s, there was industrial revolution, democracy was established, and law was there in BRD, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, West Germany, and wonders were happening in economy. They were progressing, and they were badly in the need of many employers from different countries. So that Wirtschaftswunder was the time of year of 50s, that decade. The next question is, aus welchem Land kamen die ersten Gastarbeiter or Gastarbeitenden in the Bundesrepublik Deutschland? As I told you previously, people from DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, used to come to BRD, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, to get the jobs. But then what happened? it was divided. A wall was built, and then actually there were some restrictions on the people in DDR from Soviet Union, and they were not allowed to come to BRD, to the Germany, West Germany. And West Germany was progressing, industrial revolution was there, so they were badly in the need of some workers. So what they did, they signed some agreement. Gastarbeiter is guest worker. So they signed some agreement with the different countries, with Italy, Turkey as well. So they are asking, aus welchem Land kamen die ersten Gastarbeiter? The majority Gastarbeiter or the working employees came from Turkey, but for the first time, the Gastarbeiters or the working employees came from Italy. Italy is the right answer. They signed agreement with Italy, with other European countries as well, with Turkey as well, with some Asian countries. But for the first time, the ersten Gastarbeiter, the first working employees or the guest workers came from Italy, not from Spain, Portugal or Turkey. Majority of them came from Turkey, but first supply of workers came from Italy. The next question is, aus welchem Land sind die meisten Migranten und Migrantinnen nach Deutschland gekommen? Now this is the answer. Like which country most of the migrants, or you can say the Gastarbeiter as well, they came from? Either Italy, Poland, Morocco or Turkey. So this we know. Many of migrants at that time in 1950s, when we had Wirtschaftswunder, Konrad Adenauer was chancellor and everything was on a good run in West Germany. So mostly migrants came from Turkey. Now our next question is, ausländische Arbeitnehmer und Arbeitnehmerinnen, die in den 50er Jahre und 60er Jahren von der Bundesrepublik of Deutschland angeworben wurden. They are asking in this question, those ausländische foreigners, Arbeitnehmer, working men and women in 50s and 1950s and 1960s, unwerben, to hire, to recruit. So those who were hired or recruited in 1950s and 1960s in Germany, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, how we know them today? What are their typical name? Were they Schwarzarbeiter, like they were doing some illegal or black work? We know them as Schwarzarbeiter, or like who were doing some illegal workers? No, they were Gastarbeiter. This is the correct answer. Note the Zeitarbeiter, like temporary workers or time workers, or Schichtarbeiter means shift we call shifts. So they were working in shifts. No, there's a typical term in Germany which is known as Gastarbeiter. They were guest workers in Germany, and this answer is correct. Now let's move to the next question, which is soziale Marktwirtschaft bedeutet. Now we have already seen the term like Marktwirtschaft, Planwirtschaft. Planwirtschaft was a part of DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, Marktwirtschaft, and different terms. Now there is a soziale Marktwirtschaft, which is actually the economic system of Germany, and it is the one of the best economic system which is considered. So they are asking, what is the definition of Sozialmarktwirtschaft? Steuert sich alleine nach Angebot und Frage, that steuern is to control, like it controls sich steuern is a reflexive verb. It's not a German class, but I will tell you, sich steuern is to control, like it control itself for demand and supply. Actually in social economic system, we have a check from government as well, and demand and supply is also controlled. Like there is a demand and supply, but government also make sure that every person is getting the complete supply, and there is no raise in the prices for no reason, or extra increase in the prices. So this answer is not correct. Angebot und Nachfrage is a part of Sozialmarktwirtschaft as well, but it is done automatically or itself. No, government is also involved in that. The second option is, wird vom Staat geplant und gesteuert, that it is planned and controlled by government. Angebot und Nachfragen werden nicht berücksichtigt. Berücksichtigen is a term or a verb used to consider. Berücksichtigen, to consider. So they are talking that everything is planned and controlled by the government, like in Planwirtschaft, as we have seen it was in DDR. And Angebot and Nachfragen, demand and supply, is never considered. What the niche bureaucracies is never considered. Like government only plan and control everything by their own, and they never consider what is in demand or what is in the supply. It is not also not the correct answer. It's a Planwirtschaft, not sociale. Er ist sich nach der Nachfrage im Ausland. The third option is like it automatically adjusts. Richten is to adjust. So it in social Marktwirtschaft, it adjusts itself automatically depending how much is the demand from the foreign countries for the export. It is this economic system is for inland, is for the country, not for the ausland or for the foreign countries. So the last option is richtet sich nach Angebot und Nachfrage. It adjusts automatically for Angebot, Demand and Supply, aber die Start sorgt für einen sozialen Ausgleich. Ausgleich mean balance, and sorgen is to take care, to worry. So in sociale Marktwirtschaft we have demand and supply system as well, but on the other hand, if you see at the other hand, the government also controls that and make sure that there is a social balance. Demand and supply is there, and every single person is getting the food and getting the daily things of daily requirement. So it is a combination of both of them. Angebot is there, demand and supply is there, and the control from government is as well. So not only under the government control, not everything doing independently, not depending on the foreign countries, but actually demand and supply plus influence of government as well. And this answer is correct. Now our next question is the Wirtschaft in Deutschland and man. In Germany we have, as I told you, Soziale Marktwirtschaft, which is one of the best economic system. Not the Freie Zentralwirtschaft, you can say Freie Zentralwirtschaft or Planwirtschaft are opposite of each other. It is planned from the government, but government never takes care of demand and supply. And Zentralwirtschaft, it is free from central. Individual businessmen decide their own, like what they have to do, what the price will be. Gelenkte Zentralwirtschaft is controlled central economy. It is also another economic system, but I will tell you the meaning of this word. It is gelenkte mean controlled, and Zentralwirtschaft, it is centrally controlled economy. It is a kind of, you can say, a kind of Planwirtschaft. But in Germany we have Soziale Marktwirtschaft, which is social marketing system. This answer is correct. Now the next question is 2007 wurde das jährliche Jubiläum der rumänische Vertrag gefeiert. Was war der Inhalt der Verträge? Okay, so they are asking that in 2007 there was a 50-year celebration. Jubileum is anniversary or celebration of Römischen Vertrag, that is Roma contract, Roma Pact gefeiert, feiern to celebrate. So in 2007 there was a celebration, 50-year celebration for Roma contract, Roma Pact. Was war der Inhalt? Inhalt is content, and Vertrage is, you know, a pact or contract. So they are asking actually what was the Inhalt or the content of this Roma contract. As I told you, after Second World War, the situation was getting better in Europe. West Germany or Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, they were signing some agreement with other European countries for the common economy, for the common currency, and to and they were there were some talks to bring peace in the area, like to forget the old crimes, what happened during the Second World War, and like they were planning to go ahead in the future as well. So there were some contracts signed at that time. One of the contract, the very famous contract, is Roma contract. It was around in 1950s, and Konrad Adenauer from Germany, who was chancellor, he was also a part of this Roma contract. Many European countries, the head of the governments were there in Italian capital Rome, and they signed an agreement or a Roma agreement which was related to the European economy. So in that, like, they decided they will have some kind of like, there was actually some basic steps that will and that will result in European Union. we will see all of these questions. But in Roma contract, like they were planning to have some common economic system in Europe. Now the things were settling down. There were some peace agreements, there were some economic agreements in Europe after Second World War. So this Roma pact or Roma agreement was a part of that. So they are asking, Beitritt Deutschland to NATO, that in Roma agreement Germany entered Beitritten to enter uh, made up became a part of NATO. Actually, Germany became a part of NATO in early 1950s or 1949 or something like this. But not in 1950. Actually, if you see 2007, so that Roma Pact was signed in 1957. So Germany became a part of NATO before that. So that was not about the NATO. Gründung der Europäischen Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft. This is the right answer. Like the Gründung is to the base. They form the base of European Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft. Wirtschaft economy, Gemeinschaft to work together. So actually they planned that European economic system, common European economic system. Sometimes this term is known as EEC, European Economic Community as well. So EWG is Europäischen Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft. So they have made a community with a common European community, European economic community, and they signed some agreements like they were import and export will be in Europe, and like some kind of this agreement. So these were the basic steps towards the creation of European Union in future. So in 1957 in Rome there was a Roma Pact or Roma Agreement for the common European economic system. Gründung der Europäischen Wirtschaftsgemeinschaften. And they are asking for Verpflichtung Deutschland zu Reparationleistung, that Germany has to pay for Verpflichtung is to obligation or mandatory or duty. So like there was a in Roma Pact the inhalt or content was Verpflichtung, like Germany was obligated zu reparieren Leistungen, to pay for the repair work. Reparation is to repair, so they were asked to pay for the repair work. Leistung is payments or yeah, Leistung is performance or payment. So Germany was asked in Roma to pay for the repair works in Europe. It is not the correct answer. Or Festlegung der Oder Neisse Linie als Ostgrenze. Actually, this order Neisse Linie is a legacy or typical border between Poland and Germany. Even that was not a content of, that was not on agenda of Roma contract. That Festlegung means to stable, to fix the order Neisse Linie als Ostgrenze, to fix it as a eastern part, or you say eastern border between Germany and Poland. No, it was not on agenda of Roma contract, but actually EWG, Gründung der Europäischen Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft, was was on the cards, and then it is the correct answer. So let's move to the next question, which is, was wollte Willy Brandt mit seinem Kniefall 1970 in ehemalige, I will not take the name of this community, Ghetto in Warsaw ausdrücken. They are asking, Willy Brandt actually was a chancellor of Germany after Konrad Adenauer, not directly after, but maybe after 2 or 3 chancellors. In 1970, actually, he went to Poland to ask for the forgiveness, like what the Germany has done with some specific community or with the people of Poland during the Second World War. He asked pardon for that, and even for this act, he was also awarded Nobel Peace Prize right after this in 1971 or 72. You can Google it as well. He is very famous for his this act. So they are asking about, was wollte Willy Brandt mit seinen Kniefall, was what exactly Willy Brandt, the Chancellor of Germany, wanted mit seinem Kniefall. Knie, you know, is knee is knee, and like he's bent, he's just fell down on his knees in 1970 in ehemalige. Ehemalige is known as the former. So the former. I will not take the name of this community. Ghetto is the symbol or the wall in Warsaw, in Poland, the capital of Poland. Ausdrücken means to express. What exactly Willy Brandt want to express here? He is on his knees and asking for the forgiveness, or what kind of act is this? The first option is Erhard sich den ehemalige Alliierten Unterwürfe. Like he has ehemalige Alliierten means the former allied forces like France, USA, Soviet Union, and United Kingdom. He has Unterworfen mean to surrender. He has surrendered himself in front of he surrendered himself in front of allied forces. This is not the correct answer. Er bat Polen bat Polen und die Polischen this community Vergebung. Like he actually the term we use for Bart is the past form of bitten. Like he requested Poland and this community. I will not take the name of this community, as I already told you. This Polish community, Vergebung. Vergebung is forgiveness. Actually, he was on his knees and asking for the forgiveness for the war crimes or some what was happened during the Second World War from the German side in Poland. He asked for the forgiveness from the Polish people and specifically this Polish community, Vergebung, for the forgiveness. It was the grace gesture from him. And actually now we are going towards a peaceful Europe. Now we are moving toward the European Union. As we have already seen in the last question, there was a Roma Pact or Romanian Vertrag for the European economic system, and there were some meetings. Actually, then Willy Brandt was visiting different European countries. He was like there were some peace talks in Europe in 1970s to make a common bloc, to create European Union, to create common currency, and then free borders. Like Willy Brandt was actually on a move. He was visiting the different European countries. So during his tour, he in 1970 he went to Poland, to Warsaw, for this community ghetto on the wall of this community, and asked actually for the forgiveness. Bitte Vergebung. Er bat Poland. He asked or requested Poland and this community to forgive for all the war crimes what happened during the Second World War. Er zeigte seine Demut vor dem Warschauer Pact. That Demut is humility. That he has shown, as Zeigen to exhibit. He has shown his humility for the Warsaw Pact. Actually, he was not even this. He was a chancellor of Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, West Germany, and West Germany was never a part of Warsaw Pact. So this picture cannot be a right one that he is showing his humility for a Warsaw Pact. Actually, BRD or West Germany was a part of NATO, not a part of Warsaw Pact. So this answer is wrong anyhow. Er sprach ein Gebet, that he is performing some kind of religious prayers, and Grab on the graves. Grab is graves. Des Unbekannten Soldaten. Unbekannten is unknown, Soldaten is soldiers. So actually he is praying on the graves of unknown soldiers. This answer is also not correct. Actually, he asked for the forgiveness, and for his amazing gesture, he was also awarded the highest prize. Sorry, in the world, which is Nobel Peace Prize as well. So the second option is correct. Now, our next option is Welche Politiker steht for the Ostervertrag, which is you can say Ostervertrag is east contract, or Ost is east and Vertrag is contract. So as I told you, Willy Brandt was on the move. He was on the tour of European countries, and like he was also in 1970s, as we have seen in the last question. He was in Poland, and then he visited some eastern countries, some western European countries, and at that time is known as East Vertrag. Like actually he mainly was visiting the eastern countries. So Willy Brandt was the person like who actually signed this Ostvertrag, which was for the good relationship between Bundesrepublik of Deutschland (BRD) and the East European countries, Poland and even DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, and the other Eastern European countries. So that was the time of 1970s. Willy Brandt was visiting the Eastern European countries, specifically, and then he was also in Poland, as we have seen in the last question. So he was the guy. Just in the continuity, just remember this term Ostvertrag, which was another step for the for the peace and the security of the European region. After the Roma contract, now is coming Ostvertrag. They signed this Eastern contract between Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, Germany, West Germany, and the Eastern countries. Poland was also a part of that. So Willy Brandt was responsible for this Eastvertrag. And if you see, this answer is correct. So we will move to the next question, which is the französische Staatspräsident François Mitterrand und der deutsche Bundeskanzler Helmut Kohl gedenken in Verden gemeinsam der Toten beider Weltkriege. They are asking in this question that French president of the state François Mitterrand and the deutsche Bundeskanzler Helmut Kohl gedenken, like they are Denken, the Gedenken Tag, we have already seen this term. It is Gedenken is to recall, to remember. In Verdun is a city in France. Like there was a massive war in Verdun during Second and the First World Wars. So in Verdun, both President gemeinsam, they are remembering together the Toten beide Weltkrieg of the dead, for the dead people of the both world wars. Welches Ziel der Europäischen Union wird bei diesem Treffen deutlich? They are asking that actually what was the goal which for the European Union which became clear. Deutlich is clear or visible or distinct during this meeting. As I've already told you that after the Second World War there were some steps from the European countries. They signed Roma Pact. Then there was a Ostvertrag, East contract signed by Willy Brandt with Eastern European countries for the betterment of the region. And in the continuity of that, the Bundeskanzler Helmut Kohl also presented his 10 points for the reunification of Germany, East and West Germany. And he's also known as for the unity of Germany as well. So they are asking that both presidents, French and German president, they met, and actually what happened during this meeting, what was the target of that meeting. They are asking that Freundschaft zwischen England and Deutschland, this can never be an option. It was a meeting between Deutschland and Frankreich, so this option is not correct. Reisefreiheit in alle Länder der Europa-Union, like there will be a freedom to travel in all countries of European Union. Actually, this was not the main agenda of this meeting. This decision came later in 20th century. So Reisefreiheit in alle Länder der Europäischen Union was not the agenda. Frieden und Sicherheit in the Länder der Europäischen Union. The first goal after Second World War during this time in 1980s actually was freedom is peace and Sicherheit is security. That were the main goals. Even European Union was not formed at that time. So even the European Union was not there, that how the freedom to travel, Reisefreiheit, free travel was possible at that time. Actually, this meeting made clear the freedom, that the peace and Sicherheit and security in the land of the European Union. Like there will be no more war between the European countries. Actually, it was a next step towards the European Union after this Roma Vertrag, East contract from Germany. And this answer is correct. Einheitliche Feiertag in the Länder der Europäischen Union. They are asking einheitlich is consistent, your same, your uniform. So after this meeting, actually they decided for einheitliche Feiertag is vacation in the Länder der Europäischen Union. In Europe, they decided like there will be common public holidays in European countries. This answer is also not correct. This meeting was mainly about the peace and security in the European region. The next question is, the Bundesrepublik of Deutschland is Grundmitglied in NATO, Atlantic Pact, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. No, actually USA and some other Western countries was a part of NATO. They were Grundmitglied. Bundesrepublik of Deutschland or West Germany or Germany actually joined NATO late in early 1950s, but not the founder member of NATO. Vereinten Nationen, that means European Union. Germany was a founding member of European Union. Grundmitglied, no, not as well. Europäische Union. Actually, Germany was a founding member of European Union. As we have seen, like there were some very massive steps or initiatives from German chancellors or German government. This Roma contract, East contract, the act from Willy Brandt in Poland for the forgiveness, this knee fall, and then uh, there was Freden, as we have seen in the last question. Helmut Kohl went to France as well. So actually, Germany was a founding member of European Union. Note the Warsaw Pact. Warsaw Pact was in the DDR regime in eastern countries from Soviet Union. So even DDR, BRD, Bundesrepublik of Deutschland, was not a part of Warsaw Pact. They were a part of NATO. So Warsaw Pact is not possible. Only European Union is correct answer, that Germany was a founding member of European Union, and this answer is correct. So let's move to the next question, which is where will als Kanzler der Deutschen Einheit bezeichnet? Like who is the chancellor who is known as the chancellor for German unity? Einheit is unity. So he is the chancellor who is known as the chancellor for German unity. Bezeichnen mean to label, yeah, to name. Who is named as we have seen, Helmut Kohl is the person. Like Konrad Adenauer was the first chancellor, Helmut Schmidt or Gerhard Schröder. They were not known as the chancellor of unity. Actually, Helmut Kohl presented his famous 10 points as well for the unity of Germany. And in the last question, we have seen as well that he met French president for the peace and security of the region. So Helmut Kohl is the chancellor who is known as the chancellor of German unity. He's famous for his 10 points. If you want, you can Google his 10 points as well. So Helmut Kohl is the correct answer. So our next question is, bei welchen Demonstrationen in Deutschland riefen die Menschen Wir sind das Volk? Like till now we have seen in the video 1 of part 1, time starting from 1933. We have seen this Roma contract and some peace agreements going on in Germany. Now the time has come that the Berlin Wall will fall down, and the question is related to that. By welchen Demonstrationen, by which demonstrations, or you can say demonstrations from the people, and especially from the DDR side, they were protesting for what they were protesting. By welche Demonstration, in which protest in Deutschland riefen die Menschen Wir sind das Volk. People were saying that we are das Volk, we are the people. Bei Arbeitsaufstand in 1953 in DDR, they are asking that it was a slogan they were shouting out in 1953. It is not the correct answer. It was a different kind of Aufstand is riot or insurgents. This we have seen bei den Demonstrationen 1968 in the Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. And the second option is there were some protests in 1968 in Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. This answer is also not correct. Bei den Anti-Atomkraft-Demonstrationen 1985 in Bundesrepublik Deutschland. They are asking that there were some anti-atomic or anti-nuclear protest in Germany. This demonstration, this protest were not in Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. Actually, bei den Montag-Demonstrationen 1989 in the DDR. Actually, now time has come. Everything was going in with the flow, and in 1989, finally, the people of DDR decided that they want to like break this wall and they want to merge with West Germany. So they decided to do the protest every Monday. Jede Montag. So bei den Montagsdemonstrationen 1989 in DDR, people were Riefen is to shout. They were shouting out every Monday. They used to shout out, "We are in das Volk," like we are the common people. We are the real power, you can say. This wall is of no importance. We are the people from both sides, East to West Germany. We are the same actually. So that was Montagsdemonstrationen. The last question of this video is, was bedeutete im Jahr 1989 in Deutschland das Wort Montagsdemonstrationen? What was exactly the Montagsdemonstrationen? In der Bundesrepublik waren Demonstrationen nur am Montag erlaubt. They are asking that means Montagsdemonstrationen that in Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. In West Germany, only on Monday the protests were allowed. This is not the correct answer. These demonstrationen or protests had nothing to do with Bundesrepublik of Deutschland or West Germany. Montag waren Demonstrationen gegen das DDR-Regime. This answer is correct. Like every Monday they used to protest in DDR. Actually, DDR is the keyword. In DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republik, they used to protest against the government of DDR regime that was Soviet Union. This answer is correct. Am Essen Montag in Monat treffen sich in der Bundesrepublik of Deutschland Demonstranten. That Montag-Demonstrationen mean that on the first Monday of every month, Treffen is from the Treffen, like met the past form. They used to meet in Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. All the Demonstranten, all the people who used to protest, they used to meet every Monday in BRD in West Germany. West Germany has nothing to do with this Montag Demonstration. Montag demonstrierte man in der DDR gegen den Westen. They are saying that every Monday people used to protest in DDR or Deutsche Demokratische Republik in East Germany gegen den Westen, against the West countries. And this answer is also not correct. They never used to protest against the Western countries. They used to protest against the DDR regime, the government of Deutsche Demokratische Republik, that is Soviet Union. This answer is correct, as we have seen. So friends, our second video for the part 1 is done. We have two more videos for part 1 which is related to starting from 1933 till the current situation of Germany. We have two more videos left. So if you have any query, any question, any doubt about this video, please put in the comment section. And if you are liking our videos, please like our videos, subscribe our channel, and share in your friend circle as well. And along with that, I also want to add one more point. Many of our YouTube viewers have on our social media platform that we are using, and YouTube comments have suggested that we should have a Patreon account. Patreon actually is an open source contribution platform which is mainly formed for YouTubers and bloggers. Their viewers or their readers can support them by as low as €1 I think per month, or $1. So we have already created our account on Patreon as well. So maybe any of you, our YouTube viewers, if you want to support us on Patreon, then we will put the link in the description of our video, of every video. And if you want, you can support us as low as €1, or you can make some pledge. Patreon is about the online support for the YouTubers and bloggers. So it will really help us to come with some new future projects, as we all are studying here, or we are doing jobs here. So we don't have like normally we have some time during the evenings, so we spend our time in recording the videos, and the final video of 1 hour which come in front of you, it takes around 4 to 5 hours, which is we have to do some research, our research team, then we prepare some presentations and recording. Then recording, it also takes around 2 hours, and then rendering, video editing, uploading on YouTube. The whole video, which actually is of 1 hour, it takes around 4 to 5 hours of hard work. So we are not asking for any money from your side. We are only asking us to like our video, subscribe our channel, and if you want freiwillig, voluntarily, you can also support us on Patreon with as low as €1 if you want. You can also contribute more or less. It's all up to you. And even if you don't want to contribute, it's not a problem. But it's a kind of like contribution platform. So some of our YouTube viewers suggested that, so we thought that we should also make an account on Patreon. So friends, this was everything for the video number 2 of part 1. Kindly like our video, and we wish you good luck for your Einbildung test preparation. For this video, it's everything. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye.